Good day, my name is Bluesuit and today I'll be going over my review of the fast-paced card-based strategy dungeon crawling roguelite known as Forward Escape the Fold. In Forward Escape the Fold, you make your way forward through dungeon after dungeon, growing your hero's powers, taking down bosses, and earning tasty loot. Each new run consists of small, simple, procedurally generated dungeons filled with fun artwork and little blurbs of lore. These story bits never really coalesce into an overarching story, but rather feel like quick one-off explanations of how your hero found themselves in that particular dungeon. Littered among these dungeons are also side locations such as taverns, stores, or altars, where you can also find rare and powerful artifacts to give your hero new passive abilities. When the game begins, you only have the first of the 7 heroes unlocked. Each one has a few unique cards and an active ability that separates them from the rest of the cast. The starting hero, for example, Edward, simply heals HP after each dungeon, but some come with powerful passives like the invisibility cloak that prevents enemies from attacking you if you don't have any armor. These unique passives are then offset by corruption cards that provide negative effects like more powerful enemies or fewer healing cards. There are over 100 different cards in total, with some being pickups like health, mana, or armor. Some cards are corruption cards, and most are beneficial artifacts of either common, rare, or legendary quality. The best thing about Forward Escape the Fold is in how these cards can stack and work together. In one of my stronger builds, I had a card that increased the potency of all healing cards by 1 for every corruption card that I had in my hand. Eventually, I was able to pick up so many corruption cards that every time I found a healing card, it would replenish my health by 100%. The great thing was that most of my corruption cards made me much more susceptible to the blindness debuff, but I also had a card that made me immune to blindness, so I was able to take advantage of them without any downsides. The whole card system though is RNG based, so some runs you're able to get these huge powerful decks, and other times you just get unlucky and there aren't enough mechanics available to make it work. Fortunately, the gameplay loop in Forward Escape the Fold is so quick that if you have a bad run, you usually find out in the first couple dungeons and you can quickly jump back into another run. The main difference between this game and most card-based strategy titles is that you aren't actually playing any cards here. Everything you pick up is a passive ability, and the only actions you can take are moving and using your character's ability. Each hero has 3 abilities to choose from, but you have to win a run with each ability to unlock the next. It seems to be the same way when unlocking each hero too, so to get everything unlocked, you're gonna have to play with a hero or a skill that you're not too much of a fan of to get that next unlock. More often than not, however, I ended up enjoying this mechanic though, because it forced me to find creative ways to use the characters that I otherwise thought were worse. One character in particular, Fade, has low max HP and uses her skill to drain health from surrounding enemies. I found her difficult to use at first because of the high mana cost on her ability and her very low health, but in one run I was able to get cards that let me spam her ability to be constantly draining HP from the enemies around her, turning her into a dungeon stomping machine. The issue here though is that the game can put you at the mercy of RNG pretty often, and many runs are just plain doomed to fail. The one card that I haven't yet talked about are the actual enemy cards. Each one has a number in the top left indicating how much health it will take from you if you have to fight it. Generally, a monster will attack you if you stand in front of it, or you can attack it if you move your card on top of it. This simple mechanic actually has a lot of card-based rules surrounding it and can add a lot of sneaky depth in how you build your hero. Many cards will give you benefits if you attack enemies, rewarding an aggressive and risky playstyle. Attacking enemies before they attack you also rewards you with skulls, a currency that can be spent just like the in-game gold coins, or used in tandem with cards to deal damage to enemies or even heal the player. There are also non-aggressive cards that reward players for being attacked or avoiding fights with enemies altogether. You can pick up Forward Escape the Fold right now on Steam for $10, and I honestly think it's worth just a tad more than that. It's a super trimmed down, simple card-based dungeon crawler with one-button inputs, great artwork, and a quick and addictive roguelite gameplay loop. It may serve to be a bit too simple for fans coming off games like Slay the Spire and other more intense entries in the genre, but it's still a great and well-executed idea that can be picked up and enjoyed by just about anyone. So I'm valuing Forward Escape the Fold at $11, and I highly recommend it to fans of card-based roguelites who are looking for a simpler take on the genre that still has plenty of depth. I hope you enjoyed this review of Forward Escape the Fold. Come see me on Twitch where you can watch our reviews in progress. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Until next time.